evening. We are watching the Gambia radio and television services, and this is the news coming to you straight from Banjul, also coming up. President Barrow receives in audience the delegations of Manjago and Nar communities at the State House in Banjul. The board and management of GRTS has today reappeared before the Public Enterprise Committee of the National Assembly to deliberate on the State Broadcaster's 2019 audited activity and financial report. The National Water and Electricity Company Limited NAWEC has today presented sanitary materials worth $7 million to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education as part of efforts to fight COVID-19. And in sports, the Gambia has been handed a tough draw in next board's CAF Under-20 football tournament, with the Young Scorpions drawn in Group C alongside Ghana, Tanzania and Morocco. And in the internationals, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says he wants to reset relations with the United States, despite Biden's pick for Secretary of State expressing his ill will with Maduro's government. Well, these and many other stories coming ahead in the next 30 minutes. Thank you for joining us. Hello and welcome to the news. Now, many thanks for joining GRTS News with me, Fatu Janimbai, and we begin this edition of the Bulletin with the Presidency, where His Excellency President Adama Barrow yesterday received delegations of Manjaco and Nar communities at the State House. The delegations were at the seat of the presidency to affirm their support and loyalty to the Gambian leader and his government. Momo Dijala picks up the rest of that story.
First delegation to call on the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, was that of the Manjago community, led by prominent individuals from diverse backgrounds. The meeting accorded both sides the opportunity to exchange views on the socio-political situation in the country and explore avenues of strengthening President Barrow's political base. Andrew T. Mendy spoke of the significance of this meeting, which he believes is the first such outreach by the Manjago community to the corridors of power. He disclosed that his community is following with keen interest developments across the country, and as such, they have resolved to complement these efforts. David Bass, who spoke on behalf of the youth, appealed directly to the President to empower the Manjago youth by providing skill centers to enable them acquire life skills, whilst Madeline Mendy spoke of the need for fenced vegetable gardens for women of their community. She observed that Manjago women are engaged in many activities, but called on the President to appoint them in key decision-making positions in order to give women a voice. David Gomez, who serves as the Alcalde of Fala, hailed President Barrow as the first leader to politically empower Manjagos by appointing two of their community as ministers. He expressed concern with attempts to encroach on Manjago lands, urging the government to take concrete actions to resolve such land disputes. The presidential advisor on youth matters, Henry Gomez, who described himself as a proud member of the Manjago community, called for unity amongst this diverse community to attain their desired objectives. He said the Gambia has politically evolved, and as such, Manjago should empower President Barrow to give him another 5-year mandate to continue his program of development. The Minister of Fisheries and Natural Resources observed that this meeting has added significance because for the first time in the Gambia's history, Manjagos have stood to be counted rather than continue to be spectators in the political process. He attributed this to the new political climate created by President for their rights as citizens and pursue legal processes to safeguard their lands against encroachment. He finally urged them to massively register for the upcoming elections and vote massively for President Barrow. The Minister of Regional Government and Lands, Musa Drame, reassured that government will look into the land issues across the country, noting that the problem was inherited from the previous government. He disclosed that government has appointed a lands commission to look into these issues and appeal for patience and cooperation. The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, said he was delighted to receive such a distinguished delegation of highly respectable individuals with proven track records in their fields of work. He reassured the Manjago community that this government accommodates all Gambians irrespective of their ethnic or religious orientations, and therefore urged them to complement his government's development efforts. On the question of land disputes, President Barrow urged caution as the problem was inherited from his predecessor. He however said that his government has taken steps to address the situation, adding that he has no personal interest in the land debacle and would not take sides in order to allow the law to take its course. The President finally urged the Manjago community to stand up for their rights as Gambians and express his willingness to work with them to advance national development. The meeting ended on a high note with the president seeing off the delegation. Next came another delegation of the NAR community, descendants of Mauritanians who worked and settled in the Gambia. They also came to show their support to the president and seek his intervention in resolving issues affecting their lives. Most important of these, according to Binta Job, is the discrimination against the NAR community when it comes to acquiring national documents. This situation, according to Fatou Jara, has made life difficult for the community as they cannot get employment or showcase their language and culture in the media. Bilal Fall, a councillor in the Kanifi Municipal Council, decried the stereotypes associated with members of his community and appealed to government to help them undertake a census to determine their numbers. In response, President Barrow expressed immense gratitude to the NAR community for the outreach and promised that his government will review the laws dealing with citizenship to eliminate discrimination against minorities. The president, however, challenged the community to use lawful means to assert their rights as citizens, saying that the Gambia belongs to all citizens, irrespective of their ethnicity. Mohamed Diallo, GRTS News.
And now, the board and management of the Gambia Radio and Television Services has today reappeared before the Public Enterprise Committee of the National Assembly for deliberations on its 2019 audited activity and financial report. For more on the engagement that began last Friday is GRTS's Farmer Abaji.
Having received the presentation of the activity report and financial statement of the Gambia Radio and Television Services Corporation for the year ended 31st December 2019, that this committee considers the activity report and financial statement for ultimate adoption with recommendation. Those in favor say aye. Those not in favor say no. Well, the consideration starts. And
the board and management of GRTS returned to the Public Enterprises Committee to continue the presentation of the broadcaster's activity and financial report. Officials started by outlining challenges confronting the institution, with the management of GRTS underlining the needs for government to subsidize the state institution for greater success to be registered.
Government has to play a fundamental role in investing in equipment. When the digital transition started, most of the African countries and beyond have committed themselves either through guaranteeing loans, soft loans, through getting under their budget more income to equip their public service broadcasters because they know that they're going to open up the competition. Here in this country, we have not done that. And a few years ago, we were disconnected. Our satellite was disconnected because of lack of payment.
Without repositioning GRTS, for us to be a public broadcaster, that will be viable and giving all the resources to be able to compete. We have been going to Senegal all the time. You go to RTS, the situation is different. It's a public broadcaster. Government is giving them all the support to be able to train their people, to be able to get state-of-the-art equipment and operate. But that is not the situation in Gambia. GRTS, we are using equipment that were here since 2005, that were installed during the AU Summit. Those are the equipment we are grappling with. Some are analog, and we try to get some digital equipment to fuse it into the system, but it's really not sustainable.
Lawmakers also raised questions on the payment of corporate tax, but the GRTS board chair said an agreement has been reached with GRA on that issue.
There is a possibility for the Minister of Finance to also waive certain taxations or reduce them. And I think the agreement was in line with the difficulties GRTS found itself in. And since also GRA was collecting the levy, it was agreed that they will collect the tax from the source instead of giving GRTS all and then later on. So there is an agreement to collect the tax through that modality.
Finance Director Yamunda Ugai offered explanation on some issues raised on the broadcaster's financial statement.
We were not paying the electricity bill all along. We had an agreement with NAWEC in which we were paying them 500,000. But early January 2019, we were on prepaid meter. And then we were buying cash power more than 1.5 million every month. So it was very difficult for us to sustain it. Because if you look at the GSM levy, $9 million is out of which 5 million is going to our staff costs, 1 million is going to fuel. So we were virtually struggling to pay off for the electricity bill. And this warranted us to be going on overdraft virtually every month.
After successfully responding to questions posted by the Public Enterprise Committee, the chairman of the Public Enterprise Committee, Halifa Saleh, consequently moved a motion for the consideration to be adjourned and deputies granted the application. The board and management of GRTS will reappear on Wednesday for the continuation of legislative consideration of the broadcaster's activity report for the year ended 2019. Famara Baji, GRTS News.
The deputy mayor of the Kanifing municipality has today presided over the inauguration of Latikunda Yiringanya Market. The facility received a new facelift courtesy of the Kanifing Municipal Council. Ominja witnessed the opening of a much-yearned development seeking to economically empower its users, particularly women, and this is her report.
The opening of the Latikunda Yiringanya market forms part of development projects lined up by the KMC to transform Kanifing municipality. For residents of Latikunda seeking to economically boost their earning capacity in the municipality's markets, especially women, this is a major breakthrough and light at the end of the tunnel. Swearing Moducham spoke on behalf of the beneficiaries, expressing appreciation to the Kanifing Municipal Council for not only giving the market a new facelift, but advancing schemes to empower women economically. He urged his colleagues to take ownership of the market facility and maintain market hygiene. Youth Representative Chebu Jeng thanked the council for a new initiative, but solicited intervention in the ward to bring in more developments, especially in skill acquisition. Adam Sonko, headmistress at the Latikunda Primary School, used the opportunity to call on parents to help revive the school. CEO of the KMC noted that the market inauguration is a fulfilled promise under the KM Market Rehabilitation Project. She called for concerted efforts to bring in more developments within the municipality. CEO Sonko further called on both market users and residents of Latikunda to properly maintain the market facility and promise more developments to the ward. Officially opening the new market facility, Deputy Lord Mayor of KMC, Musaba, called on residents of Latikunda to unite for the development of the ward. The new market is set to see more development initiatives by the council. The Kanifing municipality is looking at more advances under a council moving to revitalize and introduce much-needed developments for sustainability. Uminjai, GRTS.
And now, the 20th session of hearings of the Truth Commission has today continued with former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, Harry Sambu, giving his testimony on alleged excesses of the previous administration. Hussein Abujani reports witness Babukar Cham opened the proceedings with his alleged involvement in drug trafficking, which subsequently led to his arrest, detention, and torture by former agents of the state. More in this report. Well, we hope to bring you details of that later on in the news. Moving forward, the National Water and Electricity Company Limited, NAWEC, has today presented sanitary materials worth $7 million to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education and the Association of Madrasas and Arabic Education Centers. The donation, as Khadija Tujalo reports, is meant to improve hygienic conditions at schools as part of efforts to fight COVID-19. More in this report.
Speaking at the presentation ceremony, the Managing Director of the National Water and Electricity Company Limited, Nani Juara, highlighted NAWEC's role in providing clean drinking water for the populace, in which there is a component of sanitation and hygiene.
These are materials that are procured under the World Bank support, COVID response support to NAWEC. This is part of the sanitary component of the project, which is going to provide water facilities for NAWEC, which includes drilling of some additional boreholes and also extension of some of our, or upgrading and rehabilitating some of our water facilities. However, this component that we are implementing right now is targeted to support the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education and Amana.
These materials include buckets, face masks, detergents, and hand sanitizers. The NAWEC boss urged school officials to ensure that children abide by the WHO COVID-19 regulations, which these materials seeks to complement.
The total expenditure for these materials is almost about 7,305,000 Gambian dollars. This is part of our corporate social responsibility, and that is to support the ministry, because we know these schools, we have our own kids there, and to be honest, COVID is real, and health delivery is everybody's business. So NAWEC is not going to be an exception to this, and we are also going to contribute our quota to the efforts that the ministry and the government is making to protect us.
NAWEC's Director of Water Services, Alaji Diba, reiterated the company's stance in fighting the spread of the deadly virus since discovered in the Gambia in March 2020.
To make sure that the hygiene component, NAWEC responds positively to that. That investment not only to this, but we are spending huge amount of money just to make sure our customers' hygiene is well taken care of. You will see blue tanks in town with bouncers filling them. All is all geared towards to make sure the hygiene of our customers.
Receiving the gesture, Omar Jammeh, representing Amana, and the Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Basic and Secondary School were appreciative of the gesture by the utility giant.
If you take the average household in this country of 7 people per household, you have a class of 25 kids. 25 children are coming from different families. 25 you multiply by 7. How many can be infected in a day? Within a week, the entire country can be all infected. Therefore, if you are supporting the curtail of the spread by entering through the schools, you are doing the right approach to ensure that COVID is contained.
The sanitary materials earmarked for basic and secondary education, be it Arabic or English schools, is envisaged to help children hygiene and health. Khadijatu Jallow, reporting for GRTS News.
Now, still ahead for you on the program, the use of tobacco by women for fulfilling sexual pleasures has become a phenomenon practiced by many women in the Senegambia region. However, health experts has warned against the practice that rebranded many marriage settings from any angle one considers the practice. As Janke Ture reports, the use of tobacco is on the increase. Be advised, some of the technical terms used in the story are biological and viewer discretion is advised. Well, that report will come later in the news. Now, moving forward, the Christian community in the Gambia has welcomed Apostle Johnson Suleiman, who arrived in the Gambia for the second time yesterday evening. The spiritual and renowned pastor was received with a rousing welcome at the Banjul International Airport ahead of his scheduled prayer sessions to heal the sick and bless the faithful. GRTS's Aminata E. Sanyang has more in this report.
All your dream is a miracle. All your dream is fruit of the womb. Sir, there is something more than that.
He has conducted different sermons in different countries. Apostle Johnson Suleiman is a Nigerian-based preacher who influenced many Christians into reverence. He is said to have the power to cure many ailments and other spiritual misfortunes. The permanent apostle arrives in the Gambia for his second visit with plans to hold a series of prayer convergences in the country.
We are here believing God for progress for Gambia. No matter the policies of the government, no matter the plans of the government, there is a spiritual dimension to success and advancement and progress. It is the duty of the government to plan physically, and it's the duty of ministers of God to pray and spiritually believe God that all the plans and the aspirations of the government will come to pass. So generally, we're in the Gambia believing God that God will rain down blessings upon the people.
His first visit in the Gambia ushered in a massive number of Christians at different worship grounds. He revealed to GRTS that part of his activities he will be conducting in the Gambia will include curing ailments.
We're going to be having a crusade. The venue is already being screwed out. So we're believing God that the sick will be healed, the bound will be free. Those who are believing God for miracles and problems in their lives will be rolled away. That's why we're here.
He received a massive welcome at the Banjul International Airport from Christians Apostle Johnson Suleiman is expected to conduct different sermons in the country before his return to Nigeria. Aminata E. Sanyang, GRTS.
Now, the report by GRTS's Aminata E. Sanyang takes us to our first break. When we return, we'll take a look at some sports news to stay.
Are you looking for a competent, trustworthy, and Sharia-compliant insurance services provider? West Africa Takaful is here to meet your needs. With a core staff of experienced and qualified executives who founded Takaful Gambia, Nigeria, and Zambia, West Africa Takaful is the name you can trust. We cover all non-life products of Takaful Insurance.
Welcome to West Africa Takaful headquarters. We shall be the market leader in the provision of religiously compliant Takaful products and services in the Gambia and across the West Africa sub-region, inshallah.
For more information, visit our office at number 10 Keraba Avenue or at number 10 Nelson Mandela Street, Banjul, or call the following numbers. Email us at info@westafricatakaful.com and visit our website on www.westafricatakaful.com. West Africa Takaful, ensuring with transparency and fairness.
Meet Mohamed Laxi, the winner of the Be a Star Sierra Leone. From a 19-year-old young boy living a normal life to a real superstar. Be famous and successful. Be a star of the Gambia. All you have to do is record a video of you singing your favorite song, not more than 2 minutes long. Send the video by WhatsApp to the following number, 2299944, using an AfriCell number. State your name and where you're from. Be a winner of a fully recorded album and $500,000. AfriCell Be a Star. Your road to success.
Are you
Now, welcome back to GRTS News. And in sports, the Gambia Armed Forces were the biggest winners in match day 2 of the First Division League of the Gambia Football Federation. The Khaki Boys were 4-2 winners over Hawks in a mouth-watering encounter at the Independence Stadium. There were also wins for Real de Banjul and Wa Banjul. Now, Mode Eschalana brings us up to date with results of round 2 of the Gambia's Premier Football League in this roundup.
Week 2 of the GFF First Division League, but this encounter will perhaps go down as one of the best games of the 2021 season. A 6-goal thriller saw the Gambia Armed Forces beat Hawks by 4-2. Both sides came into this game with contrasting fortunes from their previous results, with Gambia Armed Forces winning their opening fixture 2-0 against Gamtel, whilst Hawks suffered a shock 2-1 defeat to Elite United. That made this tie look interesting on paper, and it didn't disappoint the supporters as they were entertained in a truly remarkable game. The goals started raining in as early as the second minute when Gav took the lead. A long throw on the far side was poorly dealt by the Hawks defense, allowing the ball to bounce kindly for Dauda Jaju to head into an empty net. Hawks responded by leveling the tie in the 7th minute, also from a set piece. The ball was laid back for Omar Sarr, who guided his shot past the Armed Forces goalkeeper to restore parity. Armed Forces came close to regaining their lead from this free kick on the edge of the box, but the Hawks goalkeeper was equal to the task. With a fine save and the rebound, hit the side netting. Armed Forces, who continued to look the more threatening side in the first half, restored their lead from Sekou Diatta's 39th minute header. Hawks were again found wanting in their set-piece defending, and the Gambia Armed Forces captain took advantage to leap above his opponents and direct his header into the back of the net, giving his side a half-time lead. Hawks effected changes coming into the second period, and they were back on level terms in the 54th minute, when Boubacar Fall latched onto a throw pass to beat Bakasise from close range. That lifted the confidence of the Red Devils as they started adjusting to their style of play, but they were twice caught off guard at the back by Armed Forces. Sekuba Sise fired the Khaki Boys in front when he hammered home from the edge of the box. He combined both power and precision to score a spectacular effort in the 79th minute. Substitute Lamin Dabo sealed the victory for the Soldiers with a sublime finish in the 85th minute. The powerful striker showed great composure inside the box. That was a classic goal. 4-2 the final score, and a vital win for the armed forces, who are off to a flying start with 2 wins in a row, collecting 6 points with 6 goals scored and 2 conceded.
We have a system to play. We allow Hawks to play their system, and we focus on our system. At the end of the day, we go victorious. But that is our main objective today.
2 defeats in a row, not the best of start Hawks would have wanted. What is not working for you?
No, yeah, I think we are hard luck on this game too, because although we'll go and prepare, it's a league. We have so many games again. It's just 2 games. We lose 2 games, so this is not Hawks, we know, but we try and adjust ourselves before the league goes.
In week 2's other results, Banjul United and Marimo shared the points in a goalless draw. Gambia Ports Authority won 2-1 against PK Milan. Real de Banjul made it 2 wins out of 2 with a 1-0 win against Gamtel. Elite United and Brikama United drew goalless. Fortune United and Talinda United also drew 1-1, whilst Walidan lost 1-0 to their city rivals Banjul United. So after 2 rounds of matches, Gambia Armed Forces and Real de Banjul are joined up with 6 points, but the Khaki Boys have a superior goal difference. Gambia Ports Authority, Elite United and Fortune United all have 4 points each. Mohamed Jalo, GRTS Sports.
And from sports, we head straight to news beyond our shores, beginning in Venezuela, where the president, Nicolas Maduro, said he wants to turn a new page now that Donald Trump is not in office. Now, Trump's government has imposed multiple economic sanctions to the country, including an oil embargo since 2019. Maduro hopes for change with the Biden administration, despite his nominee for Secretary of State vowing not to support the Maduro government. Details in this report.
With all eyes turned on the U.S. inauguration, President Nicolas Maduro wanted to add his 2 cents. With the American festivities still in full swing last Wednesday, the Venezuelan leader said that he was willing to turn the page and establish new relations with Joe Biden's administration, a pledge that he repeated before a crowd on Saturday.
And we'll now take a recap of our top stories once again before we end this bulletin of the 2000 hours news on GRTS. President Barrow received in audience the delegations of Manjaco and Nar communities at the State House in Banjul. The board and management of GRTS has today reappeared before the Public Enterprise Committee of the National Assembly to deliberate on the State Broadcaster's 2019 audited activity and financial report. The National Water and Electricity Company Limited NAWEC has today presented sanitary materials worth $7 million to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education as part of efforts to fight COVID-19. And in sports, the Gambia has been handed a tough draw in next month's CAF 20 Under-20 football tournament, with the Young Scorpions drawn in Group C alongside Ghana, Tanzania and Morocco. And in the internationals, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said he wants to reset relations with the United States, despite Biden's pick for Secretary of State expressing his ill will with Maduro's government. That was all in this edition of the news at 2000 hours here on GRTS. From myself and the entire team, many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again at 2200 hours, inshallah, for another bulletin of the news.
Hello!
there's a new update from your favorite GSM operator, AfriCell.
For all of you that have struggled to buy cash power beyond $7,000, AfriCell has done it again. The limit to buy cash power is now up to $30,000. Oh yes, $30,000.
Buy all the cash power you want from your AfriMoney account by dialing *777#.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
It's an amazing offer. AfriMoney just got way better. The threshold for cash in and cash out on your AfriMoney has been increased.
Where it used to be 10,000 per transaction, now it has been increased to 30,000. Meaning, your AfriMoney account, you can now withdraw and deposit up to $30,000 at once.
Cashing in and out just got 3 times easier. For more info, call 777.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
As the Gambia nears its 56th independence anniversary, GRTS, in observance of this important event in the nation's calendar, is proud to inform its partners and prospective clients that there is a massive discount on its regular tariff. Yes, buy a minimum of 10 slots of television or radio commercial or airtime and enjoy a massive discount of 25%. Yes, 25%. Enjoy this whooping discount commencing February 1st to February 28, 2021. Rush now to book a spot on your national television to reach wide and diverse audiences. For more information, call 437-8775 or 437-7214.